It's time for the aviation segment. Read an interesting article this week about some people being disgusted with the Long Island Railroad and the car service, and some people with a few bucks love the idea of taking a plane from Long Island to Manhattan. And someone who knows a lot more about it than I would, who also read the story in Newsday this week, is Rich Kaplan. Fill us in.
Thank you, Howie. Commuters now have the option of flying to either Oyster Bay or Glen Cove for about $250. The flight takes about 20 minutes and passengers only have to show up about 15 minutes before departure. The big advantage of this is if you've ever taken the Long Island Expressway, it is a parking lot. This service is going to more or less revolutionize the way we commute. It's in its infancy, but other cities have adapted this, and I'll get into that in a little bit. Open Airlines founder Rod Rasick said that people will spend $250 for a black sedan, you know, those like Lincoln Town cars that we see on the roads, only to sit in traffic, stop and go. Rasick said that this is such a more comfortable way of commuting, and I agree with him. I mean, you're flying on a Cessna 208 from downtown Harbor to Glen Cove. You don't have to worry about traffic. All you do is you just sit back, relax, and 20 minutes, you're there. You walk up to the seaplane, you get on the aircraft just like you would get on your own boat. Rasick said passengers may book with a credit card and fly right on flyauto.com. The seaplane also flies out of the Hamptons as well. So if you're a Hamptonite, you can fly to the Hamptons probably for about 300, maybe 370. It's a little more, but it's worth it because you don't get stuck in traffic. The Long Island Railroad, we all know that Penn Station is a nightmare, and I don't envy anybody that commutes. I'll tell you right now, you guys are my hero because I don't think I could do it. New York is not the only city, though, that has seaplanes. Oddly enough, one of the most popular cities for seaplanes is Vancouver, British Columbia. Vancouver utilizes seaplanes to connect Victoria and other areas of British Columbia with Vancouver, like Whistler, ski resorts, and so forth. Vancouver's Harbour Air is currently the largest seaplane operator in the world. And I believe this is going to be a model for what's to come for New York. New York desperately needs this. It needs alternatives to the Long Island Railroad and to automobiles. And I've been saying for years that seaplanes are the most popular way of getting around. I even remember before this was publicized that you had a seaplane service that was flying out of New York to Fire Island. So seaplanes are not new. But what's new is the fact that you have a gentleman that's willing to charge about the same as a limousine to go from A to B in less than 20 minutes. You can't beat that, Howie. You can't. It's an excellent idea. I think its time has come. I mean, the only idea that was similar to this was back in the 80s. There was Island Helicopter, New York Helicopter that flew. I don't know if you knew this. They flew out of Westbury. And they connected Westbury with New York's 34th Street Heliport and Wall Street heliports. So the problem with the helicopter, though, is that you have to operate under air traffic control. You have strict flight paths. With a seaplane, you just take off and you land in the water. It's as simple as that. You don't have to worry about going, say, to Republic Airport or to East Hampton Airport. You just go direct to your destination. And this is going to be a really big thing, Howie. I think that this is going to be the beginning of something awesome.
And what also sounds good is that, I think this really will benefit the top executives, someone who makes a substantial amount of money, where they have an early morning meeting set up. Let's say it's 9 a.m. in the morning, and instead of worrying about getting caught in traffic and being late to a meeting, for that executive, time is money, and this will guarantee him to get to his destination without the stress and headache of being caught in traffic, which a lot of times they will, especially on the Long Island Railroad, Long Island Expressway.
Absolutely, Howie. I think that we're going to see a lot of executives, a lot of the elite, but more so, the price is not aimed for the wealthy. If you look at it, it's reasonable, because 20 minutes versus an hour and 30 minutes in traffic, that's time you cannot buy. You cannot buy time. From an aviation history standpoint, the Concorde did well because it shaved time off of the travel connection from New York to England. You could fly New York to Britain 3 hours compared to 7 hours on a conventional jet. With the seaplane, you can fly 20 minutes compared to an hour and 35 minutes in traffic. So I think that this is a very big deal. Also, I would love to see cities like Long Beach catch on to this and maybe build a seaplane port, because Long Beach is in direct proximity to the Jersey Shore. You could operate a seaplane from New Jersey to Long Beach, and Long Beach residents would have access to the Jersey Shore, they'd have access to Sandy Hook. There are a lot of directions that this plan can go into. And I love the idea that we finally have an individual that's committed to connecting Long Island with Manhattan from the air. I love it, I applaud it, I wish them the very best of luck, and I hope that we see more of this.
Great job, Rich Kaplan, fantastic, and we'll look forward to your report on the 25th as well, on that redoing, talking about the whole system about planes, privatization of planes. So, great job today, and we'll look forward to the next segment on the 25th of June.